Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be walking you through how I'm using AI to scrape the web, generate leads for clients, and basically generate personalized first lines for people or clients at scale. If you don't know who I am, my name's Liam. I run MTOS and I've sent hundreds of thousands of cold emails at this point, probably bordering on like millions, well, 1.5 million, I'd say. And the goal in this video today is to show you basically my end-to-end strategy on how I'm actually using Claygen to generate leads for clients. Additionally, how I'm prompting it, because that's super important in this kind of setup. I'm using voice AI to prompt everything, so I'll kind of show you how it works and how the meta prompter works as well. So I pulled a very quick list from Clay. It's just the Find People tab, and as you can see, there's some interesting names here that we all kind of know. Neil Patel, Gary Vee, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. It doesn't go much further than that. And the idea behind this is we're going to go through and we're going to use Claygen to try and, I guess, find out certain bits of information. So, and this may look kind of stalkery, and I will not say otherwise. So we'll just leave it there. So if I type in, we're going to go grab the Claygen model, this one here. And coming into here, you see there's a ton of models. There's a few. It can get confusing, but you just have to use 4.0 Mini or Gemini Flash. And I'm just going to use Flash for the case of this video. Let's hope it's not too slow. It can be slightly slower, but the outputs are much, much better. So we're going to run an AI search first to just check if this company is, I wouldn't say who they say they are, but is a marketing company or they provide marketing services. So Clay has this generate prompt where if you hit click generate, you obviously get brought to this. And most plebs, most noobs, most people that they're smart but they're not that smart, right? Because if you're using Clay, you're pretty smart. If you're using this, your brain cells are there now. But look, I basically have a thing called shoot, whatever this is called, unpin. It's like pinned to my thing, right? And it's a Chrome extension for, well, exactly this. As you can see, it's adding text into the Claygen prompter. It's adding it into my browser. And I'm just turn this off. And as you can see, I'm just gonna turn off because it's very annoying. It's basically it's literally just a quick hotkey on my keyboard, and I can just turn it off and on at will. It's like text to speech, something. There's a ton on the internet, but yeah. So with this, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna be like, I'm going to provide you with a company domain, and what I want you to do is go through the website, look at their services, look at who they've worked with, etc. And I want you to identify if they're a marketing company, specifically an agency. They need to work on a B2B basis. And yeah, I just need you to output this for me. And if they do work on a B2B basis as an agency with marketing services, which could be advertising, it could be, damn, I can't think of more marketing services. Ad creatives. Oh my God. I I actually and what I want you to do is output true if they do have marketing services and false if they don't have marketing services. That is what you call poor form. I actually cannot think off the top of my head of more marketing services, which is actually a massive shame. But basically, oh my God. Okay, sorry, I just turned it off. Okay, we're just gonna go back to pinning this one size. Whoa, stop recording, man. There we go. Once you hear that click, it means it's kind of like turned off. So as you can see, it basically prompts like the structure, and the way they prompt it is context, objective, instructions. Tells it what to do, and then examples of how you want it to output. AI is like a big puppy dog, and you have to tell it what to do. So you just click accept, and when you do this, it'll automatically set the model. I'm not going to use that because that's way too goddamn expensive. And then we come over here, it'll have the output set for you, and I'm just going to do this. We'll only run this if company domain exists. Okay. So we're now going to run this for 30 rows. If this takes too long, I'm going to pause this and we're going to come back. And we're going to be like, wow, that's beautiful. And no, I don't think it should take that long. I don't have much else. There you go. So when you go in, right, it will tell you true or false regarding like if the AI will, it'll basically tell you. So the website states this is the leading social media agency that offers marketing services. Based on the service offering, it is very likely the company operates as a B2B agency. As you can see, the steps it took, went through, went to the site, etc. I visited the site, and then as you can see, it cost half of that's 1 cent. That's a tenth of a cent. I don't know what that is. A 20th of a cent? Bro, I actually don't know what that is. That's poor form as well. As you can see, some of these have been justified as, let's say, marketing services, and some have not. And this is a good layer of defense on the initial, I guess, setup, because when pulling a list, like Apollo is the main like staple for where data comes from, and it's just not very good. It's generally just not very good. So moving on, let's get Clayton again, and we're going to see what is next on the chopping block. And I'm thinking getting a case study from the site is something I do quite often for clients. So let's go back here. X. I'm going to provide you with a company website. And what I want you to do on the website is go in and search through every adjourning? Jeez, I don't even know that's a word. And what I want you to do is identify a company that they've worked with or person they've worked with. And I want you to give me two outputs. The first one is the company itself, like the name of the company that they're working with. And I also want you to output what they did for that specific company. It's imperative you get this important. My job relies on this. If I don't get this right, or even if it's a smidge wrong, I'm going to get fired from my job. And just saying, like, if you can't find it, please output none. So it always works to give AI ultimatums. Oh, how do I stop this? Turn off. Okay. For some reason, it always works to give AI ultimatums. It just sort of listens to you whenever you're like, my job relies on this. Everything's going to blow up or something. And then, yeah. Oh my God, why does it come back? I need to clear my laptop. It is like full of so much garbage of like lead lists and stuff. It's starting to slow down my laptop. So here you are tasked with extracting information from or partnership. Oh my God, described as adjourning. The goal is to identify companies or people, and this is why you QA some of your prompts. Search for every instance. Search for every instance of collaborations adjourning. Jesus Christ. Right. And then what this will do, so this is the JSON output, and this is something I need to learn truthfully and properly in terms of what I do. But long story short, this is, and I'm not fully qualified to talk about this, but this is shit. There's like an array, there's lists, there's dictionaries in terms of how everything's structured, and as you can see, there's strings as well. Again, not fully qualified, but this is just telling you how to, or telling the AI how you want the output to like output. So that's like the goal of this. And yeah, we'll just run this and we'll see what comes back. So we run this. It will take a little bit of time. So I'm going to pause and I will be right back. Right, hello, we are back and we have some outputs. So here is a couple that we have. So like this is company name. If I go into here, I'm going to here. Job title, content marketing based on the pain points of cultural transformation. The company name was Russell Reynolds, so that's the name of the person. Lenovo, a marketing campaign bringing global surveys to results to life. Chronos, bringing humor to organizational development for 160,000 employees. And we could go on and on. Here's another one. Zwift helped, no specific details. So that means you have to prompt it a bit more. O2, applied behavioral science to their marketing. Go compare. Go compare. If anybody knows that ad, I was those are good ads. Go compare. I don't want to get copyrighted. Applied behavioral science to their marketing. So as you can see, you can get a ton of data from the company here. And obviously, if you reference this in an email, it's even more powerful, saying, hey, I saw the work you did for X person. Let me know if this is something you're super interested in. We can help you do the same thing or find more people like this if I was to send an email. So That's another one. Another super interesting one that is used but isn't like utilized to its maximum is actually pulling information from a person's LinkedIn. Like Clay can access people's LinkedIn if it's in incognito mode, so you can get particular data on the person that you're scraping. So I'll go silent again. I'm going to provide you with a person's LinkedIn. What I want you to do is go through their LinkedIn and identify a couple of things for me. One of them is going to be the person's experience. I need you to output it in a kind of structured format where it lists like kind of their present experience, obviously, the company that it's supposed to be like the name of the company and the website, and then like I want you to do it for probably like their top five experiences if they have top five, of course. Then I want you to give me a second output, which is just like the main breakdown of like all their services. Not services. Their kind of experience and what they do at the company. So you can look at the summary of the website, look at like any maybe achievements they have, etc. And I just need like a brief summary, maybe make it around 150 to 250 words long. If you can make it detailed, that would be awesome as well. If you can't find any data, output none. Oh, there we go. I was just waiting for it to disappear. So at this stage, obviously, we're now asking you to generate some breakdowns. And this is good information because Cajun can go in, pull the data, and then once it pulls the data and you have it out on the other end, it's like, okay, this is good form, good form. And then let's see here. So you were tasked with extracting, yes, gives the correct LinkedIn profile, top five experiences, yes, nice. Okay, and we will change this to one that is not the one that is used, to say the least. And then we come here like this, and then yeah, we'll just run all 30. And I will pause the video again. I'll be right back while this is running. Cool. Okay, we are back, and this was fairly fast. It didn't really take that long. And top experiences. So Shaylee Zalis is a visionary leader, entrepreneur, serving as CEO of Female Quote, an equality service company committed to closing the gender gap in the workplace. Since 2015, she has led the company in providing thought leadership platforms, developing solutions, etc., etc. These are the experiences. So Female Quote, present, what they do, their website. Let me see here. We have next one here is CEO IP something. IP sauce? Altex? You know, only the world can tell what some of these people do or what these names are. Like, who actually thought of MTOS as a good name? Funny story behind MTOS. I got a random word generator and I generated two different words and I said one started with M and it finished with toss on the second word and I just put them together. So sometimes the best names are not actually generated using your brain cells. So there's that as well. Back on track. Nandini Tyagi is a dynamic and entrepreneurial individual with experience in digital marketing, HR, and content creation. Currently, she is the co-founder of Vigampanya, a digital marketing solutions provider specializing in digital and affiliate marketing and social media management. Before something something. Okay, I'm not going to read all that, but you get the point. Basically, you can go through and pull information very relevant to this person. So you can literally say like, "Hey, saw the last company you worked at. I assume you didn't leave that company to deal with a certain issue." Shout out to Eric for that, Eric Nowalski. That was a nice call out. But you can just reference your old company, be like, "Hey, I saw at your old company you did this. Is that still your role?" And etc. And you can make it more in tune with these people. And the final one I'm just gonna whip out of my corridor or whatever, or my toolkit, is writing an actual personalized first line to the person. So this is one I actually use a lot, and I'll show you like generally the prompting I go through on this. So here, I'm going to provide you with a company website. What I want you to do is visit the website, and I'm going to be writing a personalized first line to a person for an email from the site. And the initial beginning of the sentence is going to be saw your on your site dot dot dot. And in the middle, I would like something that describes who they help and how they help them. So an example would be, saw on your site you helped financial companies with their advertising services. Or another example would be for a funnel creation company saying, saw on your site you helped coaches with increasing traction on their funnels. And if possible, if you can pull a case study as well in terms of this it would be very nice to reference in this. And to finish it off, I want you to finish with a comma, and I figured this would be relevant. So a full sentence would go like, saw on your site you worked with coaches to improve their ad funnels, comma, and I figured this would be relevant. I want you to keep the output less than 15 words long, always, and I want you to keep it all in lowercase, unless you're mentioning a name. If you cannot find anything of value or anything to create this, I want you to output none. Okay, right. That was a fairly long prompt. And this is kind of what I do for clients. This is a really, really nice line. So I guess I'm quote giving away the sauce here or whatever, but like just like all competition is good competition, right? Whatever. So this is a line I do use quite often. And let's see how it frames up now. And then we'll use Gemini, but it's actually we're gonna get more NAs than non-NAs. We'll see that. We'll see. And then and the idea behind this is you can say, hey, first name, comma, saw on your site you did X for this type of person, figured this would be relevant. So saw on your site you help doctors become notable and profitable brands, and I figured this would be relevant. And I shouldn't have said put it all in lowercase because this I is in fucking lowercase. So on your site you help digital brands scale their presence, and I figured this would be relevant. So on your site you help businesses grow and succeed online. So like this obviously is not the greatest line, so you can filter it then. So on your site you help digital businesses thrive. And so if I was to go back to this prompt, which I'm going to do right now, is remove buzzwords and try to okay, so let me see here. So right, this we're gonna do this in live time because this is actually more useful than most other things that I like. This is more useful. Oh, where's the come on, come on. Oh, let me pause till I get this right. Yeah, okay, got it back up and running. Good. So I want you to adjust this prompt for me, and I want you to make it more specific to the person or the domain in question. I want you to, like, if you can reference a case study or a specific result on your site of someone they've actually helped, you can integrate that into the constructed sentence and try to avoid buzzwords and generic compliments. Like, if it's too generic, like, just output none at that point. Fuck. Come on. How do I? Oh, my goddamn laptop. I need a goddamn Mac. The amount of people that have said, like, you need a Mac, Liam, I'm like, yeah, I should probably get a Mac. Okay. So now let's see. So obviously some of them outputted none, some of them are not going to output none. Let's see what the outputs look like in this absolute bizarre scenario. And if this takes too long, I will, but no, it's not. Um, saw on your site you help small businesses to Fortune 10 brands with marketing and figured this would be relevant. Saw on your site you transform doctors into notable and profitable brands, and I figured this would be relevant. Saw on your site you help businesses generate more profits, and I figured this would be relevant. I'm going to be honest, these outputs aren't great. And like, I'm the first to admit it. So let's try this. Uh, I also have this. I wanted to show this in live time, but you're also going to experience goof ups because, you got to love videos and not everything is scripted. Let's try this one here. So this is an opener that I've been this is one I actually manually did because I was trying to refine this. So I actually manually typed this out. So maybe the Claygen meta prompter isn't the best, but you actually give it the ICP with outcome, and you can look at this one. So if I change this with slash domain company, whoops, fuck, no, that's the right one. We'll try this one, and you'll see the outputs are a whole lot better on this one. And to be honest, I kind of hit the not the jackpot, but it just kind of worked. So let's give this a ripper, and not in a. Okay, here we are. Saw on your site you help brands with creative optimization. Oh, here we go. Saw on your site you help Bumble UK with video views and accounts reached. Saw on your site you helped Posh Peanut scale to a 41M empire. So as you can see here, right? Saw on your site you help DBS Bank with culture change. So this is more of what I was trying to demonstrate. Slightly fucked it up, but whatever. You get the point. You get it now. So on your site you helped Claire's with increased category search traffic. So on your site you helped Clarky businesses with it's Italian with improve. You know what? Not gonna ask questions. Not going to ask questions. So this is the Clayton setup, the demo, and how everything kind of works. It's something I do very often. So just like if this is something you're interested in, I do run an agency, and we have an intro offer going right now where we basically send 5,000 emails a day for you. So it's about 110,000 emails a month at a relatively low cost. If you're interested, drop a booking below. Agency page. If there's nothing else, that's fine. If you're not interested, that's fine. But I hope you enjoyed. Drop a sub, drop a like, and I will see you later. Goodbye.